Namaste. Welcome to this tutorial on Simhasana, or I often say Simhasana, but it's Simhasana, the lion's breath or lion's pose. So there are a few different ways that you can do this. It's a great practice for the throat chakra, the heart chakra as well. And it's a lovely breath to do in general to release our feelings of frustration, if you have any of those. We get to roar like a lion and really let go of those feelings that we sometimes hold inside. So you can do this in any posture, but there are a few sort of more recommended postures. And for a simple Simhasana, we can do on hands and knees. But I just want to show you what to do with your face first. So our breath happens on the out breath. And we stick the tongue as far out of the mouth as is possible without strain, and look up. Some people like to cross their eyes as well, so you can do that if you would like to. You can try it both ways. So before you get into doing this in any particular posture, you can simply take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale with a sort of stick your tongue out as far as it goes and look up. There we are. Should we do that one more time just to be sure? Deep breath in. Very good. And it's quite good to practice that because it's quite the coordination to exhale and stick your tongue out, nice wide tongue, and look up and maybe cross your eyes at the same time. One too many things for some people. Okay, so now that you've got that, you can do this posture simply kneeling. If you need to kneel on something for support, then you can kneel up on a block. You can sit in a chair. You can do this cross-legged if you prefer. Absolutely any of these things will do. And we can put an arm action into the pose as well, or with the breath. And for that, we reach the hands forward, lengthen the arms and spread the fingers like a cat or lion, extending claws from the paws. Okay, so we do this combined with a slightly forward motion. So we're reaching the fingertips down. And I'll demonstrate. You can join in straight away if you'd like. So a deep breath in. And then relaxing back to center, softening the face, relaxing the arms, taking a few breaths in between. Natural breaths can be deeper breaths if you like, and then we'll do one more here in this pose. Deep breath in. And relaxing. And if you have a fit of the giggles, that's all good too. Sometimes we release emotions through a fit of the giggles just as well as we would do if we were like having a harumph or a sigh or a cry. So doing this kneeling is how I most often teach it in class. But you can also do this with cat pose, which is a really nice combination of the posture, like the energy of a cat, and the lion's pose as well. So for cat pose variation, you are in cat, and the thing that cat allows us to do as we do cat-cow pose is that we get to activate the pelvic floor and the belly muscles, which are part of doing the more advancing variations of this breath. So if you can, in your neutral hands and knees pose, activating the pelvic floor and the belly muscles, we're going to inhale here in the center, and as you exhale, lift your chest forward, extend your tongue, look up, and then come back to center and maybe round the opposite way. So it's a different way from doing the breath. Normally we inhale in cow pose and exhale in cat, which you can absolutely do. You can use your breath in any way in this pose. But for now, we're just going to hold this more neutral hands and knees spot, activate pelvic floor and belly muscles. Inhale deeply. And lion's roar. And back to neutral, maybe rounding, wiggling anything that needs wiggling. Taking a couple of centering breaths. And then we can do the same thing again, pressing into the feet maybe a little bit. Pressing into the hands a little bit, lifting the pelvic belly muscles, deep inhale. And roar. And relax. And you can take a little child's pose if you'd like to take the weight off your wrists, but also just to rest. I prefer to kneel just for today. I'm going to roll my wrists a little bit because we are moving towards the fullest expression that we're going to explore today of lion's pose. So for this, we're going to leave the toes together and take the knees apart. So if you're in child's pose, you can do that in child's pose as well. But then coming up into a more upright kneeling position. And then we're just going to come forward on the hands so that we can turn the fingers backwards or around to the sides a little to point back towards our knees or our bodies. Then you walk your hands towards you until you're able to kneel on your, have your buttocks on your heels or on a block if you need to. And then here in this position, we're going to do the same thing that we've practiced in the other positions. So we're spreading out the fingers, taking a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale this time, you're going to draw your chest a little forward and lift your head to extend your tongue and look up. Deep breath in. Lion's roar. And come back to a more neutral spot. If you want to, you can widen your hands slightly to get your chest a little further forward if that suits you. We'll do another one here. Deep breath in, lion's roar. And relax. So, of course, if you'd like to do a few more, you can. I'm just going to spin my wrists the other way and roll the wrists a little just to release. As with all practices, try to go gently and explore where is a good point for you to work. If it's sitting in a chair, that's great. If it's kneeling, that's fine. If it's in cat pose, okay. And if it's in the full Simhasana, then you can do that. I hope that you've enjoyed this practice. It's really nice to let go. It gives us a sense of vibrancy across particularly the throat chakra, and we're going to be using it in classes this week for our throat chakra practice. We'll see you again next time. Namaste.